Billionaire father disguises as poor gatekeeper to test son's fiancée. Her reaction left him in tears. What would you do if the person you were about to marry turned out to love your money more than you? This billionaire father wasn't willing to take any chances. So he came up with a plan that would change his family forever. He disguised himself as a poor gatekeeper to test his son's fiancée, and what he discovered left him in tears. Stay with me till the end, because the twist in this story will shock you to your core. Meet Robert, a billionaire businessman who built his empire from nothing. He was proud of his only son, Ethan, a charming young man who had just announced he was getting engaged. Robert should have been happy, but something didn't feel right. The fiancée, Emily, seemed sweet and polite, but Robert had seen too many people pretend for wealth. He worried, did Emily truly love Ethan, or was she after the family fortune? Robert had to know the truth before it was too late, so he came up with a risky plan, a plan that would test Emily's heart in a way she would never expect. Robert told Ethan he had urgent business overseas and would miss the engagement celebrations. But secretly he stayed behind, shaved his beard, wore old clothes, and disguised himself as a poor gatekeeper at his own mansion. Nobody knew his plan, not even Ethan. On the day Emily arrived for the weekend engagement party, she had no idea the old man opening the gates was her future father-in-law. She barely glanced at him and rolled her eyes when he wished her good morning. That was the first sign Robert noticed, but he needed more than signs. He needed the truth. Later that afternoon, Robert, still disguised, approached Emily. He smiled politely and asked if she could help him carry a few heavy boxes to the back storage area. It wasn't a big task, but Emily looked at him with disgust and said, "Do I look like a servant to you? Ask someone else." She walked away without a second glance. Robert's heart sank, but he didn't stop there. He knew some people just had bad days, so he decided to push further. The next day, Robert overheard Emily talking on the phone with a friend. She said, "Once I marry Ethan, I'll never have to work a day in my life. Can you imagine all that money? I'll be set for life." Robert froze. His worst fears were coming true. But he still needed the final confirmation. What would Emily do if she thought Ethan lost everything? So, Robert planned the ultimate test. He approached Emily that evening and said in a trembling voice, "I overheard the young master talking about some business troubles. It seems his company is losing millions and your engagement party might be canceled." Emily's face changed instantly, from fake sweetness to anger and panic. She shouted, "What? No, 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 I can't marry a broke man," and stormed off to call her friend again. Robert listened as she said, "I need to find someone else fast. Ethan is useless if he's broke." That was the moment Robert knew Emily didn't love his son, only his money. The next morning, Robert returned dressed in his expensive suit. When Emily saw him, her jaw dropped. She stuttered, "You're—" Robert interrupted calmly, "Yes, I'm Ethan's father, and I've seen the real you." Emily tried to fake tears, but Robert wasn't buying it. Ethan, heartbroken, looked at her and said, "Emily, leave. You're not the woman I thought you were." Emily stormed out, humiliated and defeated. Robert hugged his son tightly, tears in his eyes, not because Emily failed, but because Ethan deserved someone who loved him for who he was. Robert said, "Money can buy many things, son, but never true love." Weeks later, Ethan met someone else, someone genuine, someone who loved him for his heart, not his wealth. And Robert knew he had made the right choice. What do you think about Robert's decision? Would you go this far to test someone's love? Let me know in the comments below, and Don T, forget to like and subscribe for more stories that will keep you thinking long after they end.